out. That said, we've seen Lazra on Fenrir in the past, and he is very good on this pick, loves going for exactly this. We called it the Lazra gank until we settled on the name Cringe Gank, and he's back at it.
He is back at it indeed. Haddix under the pressure here, pushed under the tower. The tower shot comes through onto Nika, but just not enough damage there for the Lazra gank. Onto the right-hand side, it'll send Haddix back to base. He'll channel that teleport early. But Lazra without the mid pressure, that'll give all the mid pressure over to the Ravens.
It will, but mid camps haven't spawned just yet. Lazra should be able to grab at least the right side camp. So it'll be a 1-for-1 trade, assuming the Han Ravens do go for the left, and they will. Curious to see how things pan out. I really thought it was going to be Thor solo with Lancelot out of the jungle because of that interesting interaction between Grand Joust and the 50% of Lazarus kit. Instead, having him over in that soul lane, I think, has some knock-on effects. Would have loved to teleport over and get aggressive like we had seen in Game 1. Haddix did that pretty frequently. Speaking of getting aggressive, though, Scream, rotation first.
Vote gets caught out on the other side of the wall, but beads and a good stun. As well as the trap, the disengage tool still there for the Jade Dragons. Maybe not as potent in game as in the first 2 games, but certainly enough to get them out of that early gank onto Scream. And you're right, this shift into the jungle for the Thor, not only does it, make for an interesting soul lane matchup. Been a minute since we've seen this Lancelot in that soul lane. That thought, though.
Again.
No beads onto Vote, and the wall catches him out again. They take advantage instantly. Heroin gets the last hit. Ravens on the board first.
Yeah, I think you could just rinse, repeat, and continue to cycle that exact play for just about the entirety of the laning phase. Vote really going to struggle, especially 3-5, and 5's a long ways off, considering how much pressure has been put on him. Misses out on a good deal of that wave. Doesn't get to clear it before he's knocked down, and then legitimately knocked down as well. So the Howland Ravens strike first, but kill going over to Hurrywind, not exactly the ideal target. Stacking up whatever defensive option your choice is feels good, and it's nice to have early, but a kill going over towards Scream or Zapman could really expedite that mid-game power spike.
Give them a little bit of pressure that they needed, though, to try and take the damage here, take the trade onto this purple buff steal, and they do take that away. Zapman back onto the Yola run. Sure, we'll see him use that Sanctified Field as the escape tool once again for the first couple of minutes of this game.
Oh, he's going to be using it.
Continue to try and steal away some of these purple buffs. My point on this Lancelot, I was going back to it, this gives the global pressure onto the Thor, right? And onto the jungler in particular. Scream can now carry this global pressure around the map, as opposed to, previous games where you had to wait for the Haddix teleport to come through. You had to have him on that side of the map for that type of engage. And now you get Scream with that semi-global pressure. You don't have to necessarily invest as much of a rotation to start these games.
Yeah, and it's just the constant threat of Scream's on the right side of the jungle, back up. Scream's on the left side of the jungle, back up. His range of effectiveness incredibly high thanks to that global presence. With that said, his DPS is going to be slightly lower than Lazarus as of right now. I wonder, Doug, can you give me a hover on Lazarus level priority, actually? There are so many options for the Ravens to cancel out Brutalize. Thought maybe we'd see him either max out the Howl or Unchained. Instead, it is the Brutalize max. So it's a lot of damage, but he's got to be really choosy on when he's using it. If you're initiating onto Ven, you have to wait out Sikkim. If it's Scream, you got to wait out the wall. If it's Hurrywind, you got to wait out the taunt. If it's Zapman, you got to wait out Hurrywind's taunt because he's always going to be there. The pace of duo lane really has just been a duo lane in this set. Both supports, for the most part, hanging out there. It's going to be difficult, I think, for Lazra to utilize that in PvP. But if he decides to just hover the jungle and farm up and be efficient in that regard, I mean, Brutalize, it's fast clear.
Indeed, and with the pace of the game, the pace of the set thus far, nobody could blame him for just trying to focus on that clear for at least the first couple buff spawns, but won't even be that. I don't think Scream, okay, now sees him on the map, does cross over a ward there. As these blue buffs are spawning on the right-hand side, we might get our first pinch of aggression if they want to try and force this invade, but Lazra still hesitant to try and push up past that equator point. And an early pause on the purple open. Wow.
Ooh, head and hands, Mike. That's brain fatigue right there. That's what a 65-minute game will do to you. Sometimes you just lose that, you know, and no shame in it. Maybe a little shame.
Maybe a little shame. At least Satman doesn't have to use his ultimate to get out of there. You grab the ultimate for free off of Mike. Maybe an accidental forward press, but they do secure their purple buff.
It is maybe accidental.
I'd like to give him a little bit of credit, man.
Okay. I think the credit is saying it is accidental, because if it was on purpose, he's dumb. No. And if it was on accident, he made a mistake.
But it worked. You put up the River's Rebuke, and they got the purple buff, cause and effect.
Sure. Causation and correlation, though, right?
I didn't say we were going like math, like statistics. Like I wasn't ready. I'm just saying, like he did a thing and a thing happened. I'm just like they wanted the purple buff. They got the purple buff. I'm calling that a win.
You know what? And I'm with you there. That's the difference, right? I'm jaded. I've been casting this game for a while now. I've watched plenty of Mike games. Maybe I've lost a bit of the luster that still, you know, you still have, the light behind your eyes.
Oh, man.
I've seen the other side, Frog, all right? I know what's going on in these players' brains. I've had conversations with these guys.
Yeah, they won't talk to me yet, man.
Is that true?
I've got to be, no, it's not true.
Are
like
you getting...
I've got to be like indoctrinated in. I'm still
hazed by the players?
Dude. No, I'm not getting hazed. It's just good fun. And I think the players, the Jade Dragons, they're having some fun maybe over there on the left side with that purple buff. But Lasbro, he's having some fun on the backside, trying to steal away a little bit of camp clear. And I think this is the small advantages that you get. If you don't want to force a full fight, if you don't want to like hang your hat on 1 or 2 engagements in this early game, you are certainly trying to take advantage.
Where's he going?
He is in the air. He's on to Dardes and forces the beads. The ultimate as well from Dardes. The ultimate whirlwind as everything. Oh my
got him!
goodness! Dardes! He gets his life eliminated. The beads get burned on the Thor ultimate, and that makes perfect space for the taunt to come through. That's the combo the Ravens are looking for.
Man, that was clean stuff. Hurrywin ults on landing there. Make sure to hold on to that taunt. Then I'm a monster a little bit earlier than Bobby had called for, but certainly living up to it. And the Highland Ravens strike for the second time, pushing that gold lead pretty significantly in their favor. This is one of the faster gold leads we've seen so far this set. And the opportunities available to the Highland Ravens around objectives are significant. Pull up invade again, and the Ravens keeping up their pressure on the left-hand side. Now there is just the option of play of, okay, we poked out Vote, let's go to the Gold Fury, and it's not a true coin toss. I'm a Monster's the highest damaging ability, individual ability in the game. And it's going to be the case for the entire game unless Dardes gets like a 3 or 4 level lead at some point. And so, the Highland Ravens' next mode of action, next thing on the to-do list here is just get to that Gold Fury.
Gold Fury certainly on the cards, and could be on the cards earlier in this game than any other, just due. And maybe you think that's why the Ravens go to this selection. You mentioned the traditional mages at the beginning. Dardes has some potential as well. Could drop Marcus for not a bad secure, but Scylla, one of the most notable secure mages just in the game of Smite, full stop. Up there with Thoth and Poseidon, Kukulkan, but only one of them on this map, and that's Scylla. That's the Venenu effect. And I certainly think that for all of the hesitancy to pull objectives in game number 1, game number 2, maybe the Scylla assuades a little bit of that, especially when you pair it with Sanctified Field.
Yeah, there's just so much potential of burn and secure there. But you have to do the first thing, which is send someone back to base, either in a body bag or just in a TKO, and Vote playing behind his tower for the most part. It'd be difficult to send him back. Hurrywin in no man's land, picked up and delivered.
He's right, he channels the ultimate instantly. That damage mitigation, that'll keep him basically at full HP. This might be the re-engage though. Anvil it on to Lasper in the back, no beads available for the jungler. At least he doesn't use them now. He might be forced to, and they're just in time to keep him alive. Not enough though to prevent the dash through, and Venenu grabs another one for the Ravens. PBM separates himself from Vote, and Venenu comes through with the I'm a Monster. The damage is there, and PBM, he's the next one on the chopping block. Scream is dead to Dardes with the tower shot. So at least the Jade Dragons answer one back. 1-4 though in the kills, and the Ravens feeling confident.
Man, the Ravens are playing so well around each other's CC right now. I mean, we have not seen I'm a Monster miss just yet.
Oh my.
And I'm thinking it's going to land again here.
I'm thinking it's good for one more. Heroin looking for the taunt and will find it.
The tower.
And the tier 1 tower falls at 11 minutes as well. The Highland Ravens, they don't want another 65-minute game. They want to get out of this one early.
Maddox forces the ultimate defensively, won't get very far, has to cancel the brutalize. That's not how you're going to do it.
Wow.
Lasbra knocks him down. Tough stuff there. Maddox, though, I mean, even in falling down, so much goes well for the Highland Ravens on the left, and it's still going well for them, that I'm willing to accept it. Even Lasbra making that rotation almost just completely removes the potential for a gold-free contestation. And so the Highland Ravens will put that one in the win column for them as well. This gold is starting to balloon out of control.
Balloon is right. This is the biggest gold lead I think we've seen this early in this set, and the Highland Ravens control all of it. They've got the onus on them, and I think a lot of it has been channeled through Heroin. He's looking great on this Athena pick, consistently ulting in to start the fights when he needs to be there. That fight he ulted out, but he was still there with the perfect taunts, and Venenu and him are on the same page in every one of these engagements.
Yeah, it's been great stuff there. Even Hurrywin notwithstanding, that's a wall setup to get the I'm a Monster to land there. Scream just throws out the Tectonic Rift, and Ven says, that's enough for me. I'm a Monster finds its home. So plenty of CC lockdown on the Highland Ravens. It's not completely reliant on Confound from Hurrywind. And the strength of the Highland Ravens already proven itself here. The Jade Dragons have to show some respect. Will not be contesting that Stygian Beacon. That goes over to the Ravens absolutely for free. The Jade Dragons are going to have to find their opportunities soon, though. This bleed, if you allow it to go much further than this, I mean, the Highland Ravens have a composition that is strong on Siege and very good on even Fire Giant. We've seen early Fire Giants every game so far this set. We're primed and ready for potentially an even faster one, considering how ahead the Ravens are. Opportunities lie for the Jade Dragons, I think, almost entirely at the feet of Lasbra. Fenrir's got plenty of CC lockdown to set up for his team. But someone's got to burn through those beads first, and Mike's going to struggle to do it. Nika can do it absolutely, but he's over in the soul lane. Locked down there, trying to keep his tower up, at least during the laning phase. So it's really just entirely up to Lasbra. Has to burn the beads, then circle back and make use himself.
Zatman has quietly accrued a 3-level lead.
I mean, nothing quite about it. There's been a lot of fighting.
It's really only been that one fight on the left side where they took down 3. Past that, it's just been these purple invades. And here comes another one. Dash in from Heroin. He's looking for the well-timed taunt. Gets the beads at a vote. And Venenu, he's on his way. They're looking to take advantage of that right away if they can find it. First, they'll find the purple invade, though.
Again.
And the taunt is there. Vote.
Good Riptide.
Good Riptide keeps him safe. Anvil Adon, though, looking for the engage. Ties it on the Lasbra, but it's off the mark.
Nika.
Watch Nika. Watch the I'm a Monster. It's off the mark, though. Venenu, he's under some pressure as well. Scream has to separate himself from the fight. And the Nika rotation slows things down. The Highland Ravens, they get the purple, but not much else.
Hurrywind, perhaps in a bit of trouble there, pulled out by Nika, but no driving strike, no chance, and another camp stolen away, Ven, from downtown. Sick 'em all you needed. And it's a 5-on-5 on the left-hand side. Every single member meeting up, and nothing really happening except for the Highland Ravens just taking away a bit more of that farm. If Gold Fury were available, we'd probably have seen a team fight start up there. Instead, it's Pyromancer on the chopping block. Ven, hurry, first in the scene. Nika doing his best to just slow things down. But keep your eyes on Zatman. Anytime an objective is potentially on the chopping block, you can really tell, depending on where that ADC is. And Zatman beelining for it.
Taunt there into Mike. This is grouping, though, the Ravens. They're looking for the Pyromancer. Meanwhile, the Dragons, they're looking for Heroin. And the engagement is there. The counter from the Ravens. Great dunk onto Scream. Takes him to half. And Heroin, he's down to 20%. Has to be the disengage now for the red squad. Might be an opening for the Jade Dragons if they want to contest this. One member is back, but the ultimate is still available soon for her when they need to secure, and they will find it. Highland Ravens take away the Pyromancer, and a good Riptide again from Mike to keep Dardes safe. This Yapoja's doing a lot of work.
Yeah, I love how Mike's been using the Riptides. It's not just disengage, it's waiting out CC. Oh, Confound hits you, I'll deliver you away. Oh, you got hit by a stun? Let's get you out of there. It's so smart.
Fontaine, though, Irwin, they're not stopping this, and a trap on the wall. Dardes forced to use the Aegis, but it will not be enough, and Venenu grabs his fourth. Look at Lastra. He's set up behind this fight, but the ultimate isn't available quite yet. Doesn't have anybody to grab, and it won't be enough for the Ravens to force a tier 2. All the while, Vote farming up on that left-hand side.
They wouldn't.
You mentioned an earlier Fire Giant, though, Mifflin. It was 17 minutes in game number 2. Looking for 16 here in game number 3. Great Riptide keeps Nika alive, and the Fire Giant's down to half HP. The Secure has to be there, and I'm Monster's available. But Venenu, he's under pressure. The ultimate coming through. Defender of Olympus. Fire Giant's getting low. Lasbra, he has to go for the jump in, and the 50-50, it's going to be there. The Ravens secure the Fire Giants, and they're looking to secure the fight afterward as well.
Nika forced to use those beads, considers a re-engage himself. Punch off the mark. Haddix now on the escape, but it's Lasbra who rejoins the fight. He's just considering it, but it's Scream up to the air as well.
Looking for a dunk, has to hit it. It's off the mark on both, but Dardes is capitalized on, and the tap comes through. The mid laner falls, the jungler falls, and Nika, he might be the next one to fall. Scream looking for the wall, will find it. Nika with the DR though. The damage will take a minute to come through, but Venenu will find the rampage. And the Highland Ravens, they get everything they were looking for. They may even get more as Vote is under pressure. Haddix needs a little bit more. A 4-man swing plus the Fire Giant at 17 minutes.
Plus tier 2 tower, plus fall back to Primal if you want. I mean, you can keep the siege up on left. The Highland Ravens, sick of the longer game, sick of it going past that 50-minute mark. Don't want to dance around the fire. They're sick of dancing too. It's all about PvP. It's all about control, and they've got it. PBM said that this was a meta that was going to be dictated by early pressure. He called for it, but the Highland Ravens deliver. They are making quick work of the Jade Dragons here in game number 3. I mean, top to bottom, great play. Every single individual member of the Highland Ravens doing exactly what you would want from them. Ven is just a tactical nuke. Anytime any bit of CC connects, Ven's there to follow up with the damage. Hurry wins initiations, always finding the priority target. Zatman's hitting objectives, that's fine. I mean, I don't really have a cool thing for Zatman. He's hitting fire, he's hitting structures, that's it. Scream. I mean, Scream's doing everything as well. I mean, these walls have absolutely dominated. He has separated so many of these team fights. And the Jade Dragons, I mean, they just have not had the answer. It seems like the best answer they had was, I'm going to Riptide CC. And it's really cool, but you need the damage behind it. Vote's playing a completely different game for the last 5 minutes, just split pushing the left-hand side while game-deciding plays are happening on the right.
Yeah, game-deciding plays is right. Nika under some pressure, and he's been trapped in the wall. The Sanctified Field gets dropped, and the Defender of Olympus comes through as well. Lasbra might even be under some pressure here if Venenu wants to chase this one down. But the Fire Giant still around the waist for another minute and 30 seconds, and there will be no flip-flopping this time. The tier 1 tower falls, the tier 2 tower looking to fall as well. They've got the man advantage. They might even keep going.
Vote's right back to the scene of the crime, revealed himself now on that left side wave. So the Highland Ravens, I know that's at least 5 seconds, at minimum 5 seconds before Vote's able to get back to base.
And on the engage, the Rivers of Rook separates the Phoenix, but not for long. Lasbra under the 1v1 trying to fight down Haddix. He has to ult out, but all the while they're hitting the Phoenix. They're not able to get the damage onto it though. Ravens forced back successfully. A great ultimate from Mike prevents the damage on his Phoenix.
That was really good. Buys them enough time for Vote to get into range and follow up. Haddix dropped low, trying to zone on his own around that door. But even then, fastest Fire Giant we've seen into highest return Fire Giant we've seen so far this set.
Yep.
And it's not quite over just yet. Pyromancer further pushes the coffers of the Highland Ravens. And Lasbra, I mean, I'd say no man's land, but that's his side of the base, and Ven takes him down. I mean, the Highland Ravens, it's a different team here in Game 3.
It's a different energy, a different set of picks, and a different outcome so far, as they are 13,000 gold ahead a mere 20 minutes into this one. The Fire Giant close to falling off, just a couple of seconds away, but they've got a wave with them. They're going to take advantage of the pick scream into the air, looking for the dunk to come through onto 3 in the back, and the damage is huge. Both looking for it of the scream, but they get the Phoenix and they push through. They find nobody, but they find the Phoenix, and the advantage continues. The Ravens back off.
I mean, that is the best usage of Fire Giant, full stop. The Jade Dragons, I mean, they've been given no quarter. There's been no bit of rest in the onslaught from the Highland Ravens, constantly pressuring something, structures, objectives, just looking for kills, individual plays. And now we're at the point where every member of the Highland Ravens has 1v1 potential against every member of the Jade Dragons. I don't think there's a world where Lazarus taking a 1v1 against anyone but Hurrywind, and it would take him a half hour, right? So this is very difficult odds. The Jade Dragons are reliant on mistakes now. It's the Highland Ravens game to lose as opposed to the Dragons to win. Finally, the Tier 2 tower does go down. Maybe that's an overstay. 3 members. And the Jade Dragons on left. Scream spots him out. And look at this flank.
I don't know that they realize the position that they're in. It's that they're not trapped in members, they're trapped in with members. It feels like Scream gets the shell and gets into the air. The re-engage has to come through, and it's off the mark with the dunk, but Boat is trapped the middle of 4, and it does not matter. It continues not to matter as Zapman grabs the killing blow, but Ven on the board with these I'm a Monsters is dishing out the damage, and you have to stop this Scylla.
I mean, legacy game here for Ven. He is simply not missing every single ability, finding priority targets every single time. He waited out the CC, said, Scream's got me, Dunk's got it, nope, Wall's got it, nope, I got it. And he was right. Scream doesn't need it. It's Ven lining it up on his own. Now the Highland Ravens, all the advantage going into the Fire Giant. They had it before, but it's now solidly held. Lazarus in the grayscale for 10, Vote for 5, and not a chance in hell. The Jade Dragons step up here. I mean, you could go back to base for the Highland Ravens. The Highland Ravens could legitimately AFK for 3 entire human minutes, and it really wouldn't change the game state from here. The Jade Dragons are far removed.
Yeah, this is quite the lead to come back from. I think you said it best. This is one for the Highland Ravens to lose if they are going to lose it. They have to. I mean, this Phoenix Siege, the Jade Dragons have to come up with a miracle if it's something that they want to fight into at all. But even then, I mean, Lasper's not here for this. He's not grouped up. He's just pushing around in the jungle. He might find a gang, but Scream into the air.
Back up.
Just a full retreat. They want nothing to do with that.
Yeah, if I get dunked, I die, and dying isn't good, says the Jade Dragon. So Scream, that's a zoning ultimate. That is a zoning ultimate in the truest sense of the word. He didn't miss. He goes up and just generates enough threat. The Jade Dragons have to respect it, and they have to continue to respect it. 5v4. Yeah, where's Laz?
He's still not here. He's on his way back, but I don't know if he gets here in time. Nika will have the beads forced away. Titan not under pressure just yet. It's this Phoenix. It's only taken a little bit of damage thus far. As the Highland Ravens taking their sweet time. Zapman holding on to that Sanctified Field because they simply do not need to use it. They just are generating so much space merely by standing.
The Titan's taking some damage passively as well. Right side Phoenix on the men shortly, but I don't think the Ravens care.
This might be it. Lazarus not here. The Sanctified Field, it was saved for the Titan. Venenu gets dropped though. I don't know if they have the damage. It's a Jade Dragon's defense, but it's not enough. And the Highland Ravens in 24 minutes give them a 2-1 lead in the set.
Seems like playing the early game can do the Highland Ravens a whole lot of good there. That is control from minute 1 to minute done. The Jade Dragons just did not have it in them, and Haddix letting them know.
Yeah, he's looking. Haddix.
Whoa!
Whoa! Haddix,
hey!
Haddix up in the booth, maybe making some motions, trying to really get in the heads of the Jade Dragons. That is certainly a statement to be made after a 45-minute game and then a 65-minute barn burner.